we'll flip a coin. Whoever wins the coin toss gets to decide if they want to go first or if they want to go second. And that format will continue all the way through the debate. The first side of the argument will present opening, main point 1, main point 2, main point 3. And while that side is presenting, the other side can go ahead and take notes for the rebuttal. Okay? And vice versa. We will break after both sides are presented to create the rebuttal, and then you will come in, give your rebuttal, your response to the other side, and you will give your closing arguments. Okay? Any questions? All right. This group, you guys can decide.
Oh, just put it like up there.
Wait.
I thought that's wrong. It's wrong.
Tails.
Yes.
Second?
Second. I want to go first. Do you think that it's right?
He's so serious.
Well,
Sorry, that was completely.
Nice and calm.
The listeners, guys.
do you think that it's right for the learning environment to be altered because of students' irresponsible clothing choices? Uniforms in schools are the right choice and benefit students' learning. They cut down on bullying and violence, help students focus, and are very no one else. Okay, support 1. Having uniforms limits the things that can be used to harm students and faculty in the school. Also, it cuts down on bullying about clothes. When students dress alike, they feel equal and safe in the school environment. And when they feel safe, they are more willing to go to school, which can be a challenge or a burden for some people. Along the lines of this, uniform-wearing kids don't get judged as harshly and feel more comfortable in their own skin. Clothes are one of the largest things that people get bullied for, so that just immediate expectation. Also, if kids wear uniforms, it is a lot easier for faculty and peers to identify non-students, which can be a threat or cause harm.
School uniforms redirect attention towards schoolwork and away from outfits. Most kids lose sight of this while trying to keep up with the latest fashion trends. Uniforms will help them stay on track. Therefore, they will also help redirect students and help them reach their goals. This helps improve the learning environment because kids are not being bullied or judged, so they feel content.
School uniforms cut down on the amount of money the parents have to spend on the latest fashion trends. With uniforms, students feel a lot less patronized by both their peers, since everyone is required to wear the same thing. They stop those endless arguments with parents/guardians about kids about money and the ridiculous costs of apparel. With this, the guilt and stress on parents and students alike gets lifted tremendously. Finally, students who come from lower income families usually have more responsibilities at home. For example, these students need to perform more household chores or watch their younger siblings. Having school uniforms will alleviate financial stress on these families and allow students who have to work at home feel less worried about their appearance in school. I think that this is a win-win-win situation. All in all, school uniforms owe an absolute. Oh.
So you presented the opening and your 3 main points. Let's hear from the other side.
Do you really want to wear the same uniform for the next 9 months? Because our group doesn't. Our group believes that uniforms are not needed in schools. There are so many downsides to school uniforms. School uniforms are a way to not be able to express your personality. Our group wants to express our personality in our clothing. School uniforms also that's what our group believes.
Okay. Most people think of uniforms as a way to keep children in order and avoid to break the dress code, but what they fail to see is that a uniform is a disguise. The similar clothing hides the real you from the other students. Some schools don't just stop at the clothes either. They force children to change their appearance, such as hair, clothes, piercing, and so on. And one of my own experiences was I used to go to a school that had uniforms, and I had a friend named Michelle. She used to wear really colorful socks and jewelry, and eventually they dress coded her and said she wasn't allowed to wear it anymore because it wasn't within the dress code, even though she wore the required skirt and shirt. And students claim to have lost their freedom to express themselves through clothing, and it's a downside because children usually use the way that other people dress themselves to identify which students fit into their personality. Like if I liked a band and somebody else liked a band, we wouldn't be able to tell because we're wearing the exact same clothing. And over 85% of students at schools with uniforms say that they would rather pick out their own clothes other than having uniforms to express their personality within the other students.
Okay. I have a handout. Sorry that you can't see it. But what it says is, have you ever thought about how much money you spend on uniforms each year? Well, you spend per girl on average about $156 on just a uniform. And per boy, on average, it's $140. So that means that you're spending at least $296 just on uniforms. And for two girls and one boy and one girl, that costs more than money spent on groceries every time you go to the grocery store. And overall, what I'm saying is that at 65% of clothing stores, the uniforms cost less than what you're paying for school uniforms. And also, you can't always count on your parents to pay all the money and keep paying it once you grow out of your uniform. Once you grow out, you have to pay the full cost just to get a new one. And say your family isn't the wealthiest, then once you grow out of it, you have to pay all the money just to get another